All right. Howdy, Twitch. Howdy, YouTube. How we doing? How we feeling? Welcome to the show. Got Jimmy Moreland here for you from veteranaudio.com, voice actor, audiobook narrator, and music producer. And we've got early chat in the room. Big shout out to Unruly for being an early chatter. What's going on? I'm doing good. I'm feeling pretty good. This morning, I had me a lovely breakfast. With a bunch of different hot sauces. My lady and I did the Hot Ones challenge. For my birthday, she got me like the 10 hot sauces from Hot Ones. So you go from, you start from 1, you go all the way to 10 to the last dab. And had a bunch of friends over and we did the challenge. 7 people made it through the whole gauntlet. We had a few people drop out at Da Bomb, which if you ever watch Hot Ones, you know that hot sauce number 8, Da Bomb, is definitely the hottest hot sauce. But it was good stuff. It was a lot of fun, and now I've got a dude. I didn't think Da Bomb was that bad. It's definitely the hottest out of all 10. But I also know it's different season by season. So the season that we got, I think it's 22 or 23, and the version of Da Bomb it says it's the same, except there's like no preservatives or like artificial ingredients. It's like an all natural version of Da Bomb. So maybe that makes it better. I don't know. But man, I liked it. But that means now I've got a fridge full of hot sauces. So I made myself. I'm trying to lose some weight again. People who have watched this stream from the beginning have seen my weight fluctuate like nothing else. I lost 30 pounds and then oops, I gained 15 back and now I'm coming back down. I've lost 10 again and I want to keep going. So I was having some very light protein breakfast and I put 5 different sauces and I just sort of pick them at random. I did not do Da Bomb. But I did some of the hotter ones, and I'm still feeling it. Ooh, still a little bit spicy. But I hope everybody's doing well. Unruly says, I'm going to be shitting. I mean, everybody shits, right? That's life. Now, I think my system has been subjected to so much, abuse over the last 30-something years that I think a little bit of hot sauce is going to be fine. We're going to be fine. But in the meantime, we got to get to some work here. So what we're doing today is same thing we always do. We're going to be heading over to the main voiceover casting websites, the pay-to-plays as they're called. That'll be voices.com, voice123.com, and then ACX. We'll head over to the Audiobook Creation Exchange. I doubt we'll be getting any audiobook work that we're actually going to do auditions on, so we'll just talk about the auditions that are available because, as I've said, I am completely jam-packed with audiobook work right now. I am booked out through January of 2025. And probably beyond that if I started to count all the authors that are wanting to reserve space on my calendar for their sequels of books that I'm working on right now. It's a great problem to have, but man, is it creating some stress thinking of well, when am I going to take a breath? But this is adulthood, I guess. All right, let's take a look at what we're going to be looking at. We've got Pro Tools on the left. We've got the voiceover websites on the right. Let's jump in. Let's refresh voices.com. We always start with voices because voices is time sensitive. We got to get to this stuff quick. This here, I'm only an 80% voice match, and let's find out the reasons for that. Number 1, telephone category. I do not have a telephone demo, so that drops me 10% right away on the voice match. But we also have, there it is, the role instructor. I need to go in and tag one of my demos as an instructor role. Also, someone has reported this job for being intended for another talent, and we can see right here, hi, David. A while back, you completed a job for us. So obviously, this should have been a direct invite to David, and we're not going to waste our time. But look, 4 people have wasted their time. I guess people I don't know if they're submitting demos instead of doing custom auditions, and that's why they're able to be so fast. I'm pretty fast. I can get an audition in within 3 minutes or so of receipt if it's like a straightforward commercial read or something. But some of these people are within 30 seconds, and so they got to be just submitting whatever stock standard demo that they've got, and I bet they never book because that's so stupid to do. Okay, this one here, $500 to $750 budget. Natural, friend-like energy that is upbeat and has tempo, as if you are excited to have kids going back to school. All right, so I'm not a parent. I'm never gonna be a parent. We're gonna skip this one, and all of these friend-like energy, upbeat. That ain't me. Unruly asks, have I ever done a big commercial? So I've only been at the voiceover side of this for about a year. And in those first few months, I made a lot of silly mistakes. I was just kind of floundering about. So no, I haven't booked a big commercial. I've done some smaller brands and things like that. I've done a lot of like your HR videos. So like when you get hired at a new job and they're like, welcome to the so-and-so family. We're so happy to have you here. Here are some rules to make sure that everyone has a great time at work. And it's like the HR, like anti-sexual harassment policy. Like I've done some of those videos. There's a lot of that work out there. Basically things that used to be like presentations from HR, like, oh, you just watch this video now. So there's lots of that kind of work out there. But for me, audiobooks, I've been at that for longer. I've been at it for about 4 years. And so audiobooks are far and away the main source of my income. But, we're having fun with the voice stuff. We're going to skip this one now. Audiobook supporting character, $50. And remember, on voices.com, they take 20% off of whatever this is for their own fee, in addition to whatever they're keeping. So this would only be a $40 job. Now, $40 for 2 minutes of talking, fine. That would actually be more like, this would probably take 10 minutes to produce, would be my guess. And so $40 for 10 minutes of work, sure, that's fine. Unruly cheers, thanks for stopping by. So, like, yeah, I get this, but we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna compete with a bunch of people for $40. No, thank you. Database services, animated video voiceover. Love to see this. The client got the category correct. This is an animated video, and they resisted the temptation to categorize their video as animation. Love to see it. See that all the time. Clients miscategorizing their stuff, and that causes me to get dinged in the voice match because I don't have an animation demo. Maybe I should just do a bullshit duplicate of my video narration demo and label it as animated, and just to get these jobs. I don't know. or voices.com could just fix their website. That's an option as well. Apologies to everyone out there as well for me looking sloppy today. I usually am in a collared shirt, but it is hot in Maine today. And I've got the HVAC running out here in the studio, and I've got extra airflow running as well. We're still able to maintain pretty good noise floor, pretty silent in here, so I'm happy about that. But boy, it is roasty toasty. So I couldn't do the extra layer of the collared shirt, so I'm so sorry. Let's move on. All right. 59 responses already. I feel like voices jobs have started moving like later and later. It like we started doing the live stream earlier. We used to do it later than this. We started doing it earlier because jobs were rolling in like early in the morning, and we were just showing up so late. But now I feel like a lot of them are coming in like late afternoon, and by that time I'm already like really focused on audiobook work or whatever it is, and so it's hard to find the perfect time. I think the thing is that you just got to be in your booth at your computer in front of your microphone, ready and available to do this basically all day if you want to have a chance at being first or close to first so that you'll actually get heard. Right now, I think if we do this job, this audition, it's very unlikely that anyone will hear us. But for the sake of the live stream, just so that I can say, yeah, we did an audition today, we're going to go ahead and do this one. All right. So, we're not going to pre-read. We'll look at the specs, though. Real person, believable, conversational. Wow, the 3 most common specs. Good voice range to narrate animated video. The video will not show people or humans, but illustrations to communicate how our services work together to help organizations meet their goals with data and process automation. The viewer should feel like they are listening to a respected peer, someone they are close to. casual, conversational, not too articulate. Like you're meeting up for lunch to catch up. All right. All right, so let's try to be extra casual here. I can already see it. We want it to be casual, conversational, and then they proceed to give you the least casual conversational copy you've ever seen. That's all right. We're gonna give it a shot though. High quality data fuels great organizations, enabling the thoughtful application of automation. No one talks like that. You can't tell me to make it conversational and then give me like, oh my God. All right. High quality data fuels great organizations, enabling the thoughtful application of automation and game-changing technologies like AI and machine learning. DataBank is a process automation and data solutions provider focused on partnering. Let's give it all another shot here. Here we go. Oh my God. High quality data. All right, let's get this. High quality data fuels great That's even, I'm putting too much on some of these words for what they want, which is casual, casual, casual. High quality data fuels great organization. And if I can say the right words now. High quality data fuels great organizations, enabling the thoughtful application of automation and game-changing technologies like AI and machine learning. DataBank is a process automation and data solutions provider focused on partnering with clients to understand, unlock, and activate data. We help them unlock and activate data. Clients are the we, that's the reference there. Unlock and activate data. We help them make unlock and activate data. We help them make informed decisions, run more efficiently, and better serve stakeholders. All right. There, we can say we did one audition. Sometimes that's how she goes. Nothing you can do about it. Except for get up earlier, I guess, or stay up later the day before doing these. That's all right, though. Let's turn on our D-click. Okay, DataBank. Services. There we go. Reply. Turn this stuff off. There we go. Quote this here. Select the file. We're in auditions. There we go. And send her off. You know something funny? I just noticed there as I sent that off that this file, the MP3 that this generated, was 988 kilobytes. Voices.com has the wildest quirk I've ever seen. If you try to submit a file to a client that is exactly one megabyte, so 1,000 kilobytes, it won't work. I've had it happen before. So this file is 25 seconds and some change. So around 26 seconds, it actually depends on what's in the recording. If there's a lot more silence, that's less data. But it depends on what's in the recording. But suffice to say that around 26 seconds, with my encoding settings, will generate a file of exactly 1 megabyte. And again, Voices.com won't let you upload a file that is exactly 1 megabyte. It's happened to me before, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And eventually I figured out what was going on, and so all I had to do was, instead of rendering out the entire file, I just added a little bit of silence at the end, and it worked fine. It was absolutely crazy. I'd never seen anything like that. Maybe that's like some kind of like virus transmission prevention feature that they've got. I never seen anything like that. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, this has been reported as being intended for another talent, and if you look at the specs here, it says, please read at a normal pace. You've done great on all the Delco Remy videos so far. obviously this is meant to be a direct invite to the talent that they've been working with. So, good job, Guy. Maybe it's Guy. Anyone remember that Most Extreme Elimination Challenge, the sort of Americanized version of Takeshi's Castle? That was a vibe. And one of the hosts was... No, it wasn't the... So the hosts were like Kenny Blankenship, I think was one of the names that they gave them. But one of their like in the field correspondents, this guy who was in like an old like British explorer's getup with like the pith helmet and like the full khakis. I don't know why he was dressed like that. I'm sure it made sense if you like spoke Japanese and watched Takeshi's Castle. But on Most Extreme Elimination Challenge, they named that character Guy Ledouche, spelled Guy, spelled G-U-Y, and then Ledouche. You can imagine. Guy Ledouche. Shout out to old Guy Ledouche. Oh, we're losing our mind. All right. Let's see here. This is 30-second VO. Okay, cool. Whatever. Kind of a low budget. Our persona slash tone is probably what that means. Tone and manner is casual, lighthearted, helpful, approachable, familiar, witty. Think Anthony Bourdain, Seinfeld. These two references are not alike. Anthony Bourdain and Seinfeld are as far apart as references as you can get. What are you talking about? Like, and I'm not just talking about, the vocal quality. Like, yeah, obviously Anthony Bourdain's got a sort of bassy baritone, and Seinfeld, he's frequently way up here. Like, but just the delivery, okay, that's all right, whatever. Let's go with it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and read this in our best. Hold on. We're gonna read this in our best Anthony Bourdain / Seinfeld. What's better than free TV? Free TV with What's better than free TV? Free TV with uninterrupted movies, live channels, niche interest videos, exclusive content, deep personalization, and even a kid zone. Zonify is what you want to watch. Let's get that list better. It's a long list. Long lists. This has got to be a video, right? Online ad. Okay. A long list like this would never work on a podcast ad. Like, you can't have a list this long in a pure audio medium. So, but if you've got video and words are splashing up on the screen or something like that to keep people like following what the hell the list was, because by the time you get to the end of the list, you've forgotten all the context of the beginning of the sentence leading into that list that lets you know, like, wait, what are we listing again? So the medium is important for writers. Whoever wrote this, surely they understand, okay, obviously this is going to be a video thing, and they know what the visuals are going to be. So anyway, that's big picture production chat. We're just talking auditions here, and our job is just to read the damn words. So let's do it. What's better than free TV? Free TV with uninterrupted movies, live channels, niche interest videos, exclusive content, deep personalization, and even a kid zone. Zonify is what you want to watch, how you want to watch it. No subscription and no account required. Just start watching. Free TV doesn't have to... required. Just start watching. Free TV doesn't have to feel free. Zonify. Free streaming TV. Feel free. Zonify. Free streaming TV. Feel free. Zonify. Free streaming TV just got personal. All right. Probably ended up a little bit more reedy than I initially started, but that's all right. It's a cheap, quick job. We're learning as we go, you know? Zonify, okay. Zonify. reply. Go. And there we go. All right, looks like we got one more on the old voices.com. Confident and compelling male narrator for online gambling game. So I said this yesterday. I don't have any like moral compunction with gambling, sports betting, that kind of stuff. I think it's fine. I've been known to play some cards. But doing the ads for them, for some reason, doing an ad for like an online gambling thing feels scummier than doing an ad for tobacco or alcohol. I know some very talented people are out there doing these ads. And that's not to say, like, if DraftKings came knocking, like, hey, Jimmy, we want you to read this thing, I'd be like, shit, all right, let's do this. But but I'm just saying that generally that's just my vibe. And yeah, I don't know. I've got a very, like, my personal relationship with gambling, like, I've never, ever been a gambler. It's just something that's not interesting to me. The notion of, like, actually surrendering your money to a pure game of chance is wild to me, or to a game where the house has an edge. So it's like, your expected value, this is statistics chat, your expected value is negative no matter how well you play if you're playing against the house. Poker, however, you're not playing against the house. You're playing against your peers. And you just have to do enough better enough against your peers to clear the rake. If there is a rake, if you're playing in a proper casino. If you're playing in a house game, then you just have to do a little bit better than your peers, and you'll win. Over the long run, obviously, hand to hand, night to night, things can change. But over the long run, if you are better, then you'll make money. Whereas over the long run in casino games where you're playing against the house, over the long run, you will lose. If you play perfect blackjack, if you play perfect craps, you will lose in the long run. And if you want to come at me with like, oh, but last time I was in Vegas, I won $800. Cool. Tell me that you don't understand statistics without telling me you don't understand statistics. What's a sample size? Okay, let's look at this. Yeah, we're not going to do this one, suffice to say. So I say I'll play some poker, and I never even did that until I had a very good friend who was a professional poker player. And, you know, we were talking one night about what he did and sort of what it all entailed. And he was asking me, like, he was asking about my gambling proclivities. And I was like, dude, I don't even play the gambling mini game in Pokemon. There's the Pokemon Casino, right? Or is it Pokemon? Dragon Quest for sure. I was playing Dragon Quest back then. And like I was like, dude, I don't play gambling mini games in video games that I play. And that interested my friend. He's like, wow, okay, like you don't have the gambling bug. You don't have the inclination to follow wild hunches and like, oh, I just got a feeling this one's going to be a good one. Because that's just pure superstition. That's what you're engaging in if that's the kind of thinking that you're doing. And so he's like, well, if you don't have the bug, and like I have a somewhat analytical mind, he's like, I think you could make a good poker player. And so we ended up making an arrangement for him to teach me poker. Now I learned a very specific flavor of poker. This was like early 2000s online poker days, to where it was a volume business. I ended up playing, sometimes 16 screens, 16 tables at once. And making bets on all 16 tables, and like, and it was a wild thing to be doing. But I did that for a couple years, paying my rent, playing all that poker. It was wild times. Anyway, moving on, let's head over to Voice123. First thing we got to do, we have to make sure that no one is about to get doxxed. So let's look at each of these and make sure that this client is not displaying their full first and last name in the client information section. Keep looking. I can see we've got a couple of things that we're definitely going to be passing on, but we'll wait till we're back on the full screen here so we can talk about why. I know I repeat myself a lot especially when I'm talking about like the why I'm passing on job X or Y, but it's because hopefully folks out there who stumble in here find some of this useful. Okay, so we're not going to dox anybody when we go through these. So let's just start. Let's start by clearing out all the jobs that are too full. That'll just clear out some clutter here. So zooming in just a little bit here, these two numbers here, 71 and 50. That means that this client has requested to hear 50 proposals. They've already received 71 proposals. It is extremely unlikely that we're going to be heard if we're beyond this second number here. So 71 out of 50, ain't no way we're going to get heard. We're going to clear that out. 35 out of 25, ain't no way. Clear it out. What else do we have here? 29 out of 25, not going to happen. 103 out of 50, people are thirsty for 600 Canadian dollars. All right, so that's everything that's full. Or did I see one? This one's close enough. So this one's at 43 out of 45. So in theory, we could get something in, but it's happened before. We might go, yeah, let's do this. And in the time it takes for us, even though we're quite fast, in the time it takes for us to produce this audition, 2 more people get in and suddenly we're over the limit and we feel like an idiot. So if we're that close, we're going to treat that as though it's full. We need at least like a buffer of like 5. That's how we feel. Anyway, okay, so first thing that we're going to absolutely say no to, but we're going to look at it here, is this one. TTS. That stands for text-to-speech. This client is trying to ruin your career. They're trying to steal your livelihood in exchange for $2,500. What a scam. Okay. And like usage, purpose of the recording, synthetic voice AI. And it says paid media no, but they're going to be subcontracting out your voice. They're going to be selling your voice, and those clients will be using your voice for paid media. Duration of usage, nothing here. That means perpetual. Your voice will always be out there. An AI version of your voice will be out there in perpetuity that anyone can grab and make your voice say anything. Can make you say anything. They can make you say horrible, racist, anti-Semitic things. They can make you say horrible political things. They can make you say anything that they want. And just as importantly, perhaps, a lot of really big mega giant clients, they already see this as a huge, huge problem and a huge risk for them. So they're not hiring talent that has an AI voice kicking around out there in the wild. Because why would they want to take that risk? They're just going to hire different talent that doesn't have an AI voice out there. The budget that something like this should be is $1 million. And I'm not joking. That is an actual serious answer. $500,000 is not enough. I would not do this for $500,000. I would do this for $1 million. Because what I would do with that $1 million is I would put that into some kind of financial vehicle that would generate 5% return annually. And I would take that $50,000 per year and use that as sort of my cushion to find a new career, because that's what I'd have to do. I'd have to find a new career. Because yeah, once you do this, you're never going to get any of the big time life-changing jobs. So these jobs are bullshit. Don't do them is my recommendation. Do what you want. It's your life. If $2,500 is, if that'll make or break you, then fine. But note that you are putting a hard ceiling on your earning potential in the future. It's very much like the marshmallow test. Do you know the marshmallow test? It's a developmental test for young children. Well, they'll put a small child in a room at a table, and they'll put one marshmallow on the table and say, if you don't eat, I'm going to leave the room. and while I'm gone, if you don't eat that marshmallow, I'll bring you 2 marshmallows. And it's is the child developed enough to understand the concept of delayed gratification for greater reward? So the child wants a marshmallow right now. Okay, so if that's the extent of their thought, then they eat the marshmallow. And that's all they get. But if they can understand, well, 2 marshmallows would be even better than 1 marshmallow, so I'll wait. I won't have the marshmallow right now. I'll wait a bit and have 2 marshmallows. Can you do that? Are you as developed as a 4-year-old child? Can you wait? Can you forego this marshmallow right now? That's up to you. That's up to everybody to answer for themselves. We're going to decline and specifically put TTS. Now, I could filter these out and not see any of the AI or TTS jobs, but I want to see them. I want to see how many of these stupid things are showing up in the feed every day. So far, the only things that I've actually filtered out are things that very specifically call for African American talent. I'm never going to try to take one of those jobs. So that's the only thing I think I've filtered out. Though I suppose I kind of like the idea of taking away all the filters just so I can see, all right, what kind of work is happening? What's out here? That would be just interesting to me. The one other thing I do have filtered is an individual client. There's this one guy that pretty much every day posts an audiobook job or 2 or 3, and the pay on each one of them, it's always the exact same dollar per hour, and it's garbage. It's less than minimum wage for newer audiobook narrators. It would absolutely be less than minimum wage. And he just posts stuff for the same rate every day, and people audition for it. People are out there just constantly auditioning for it, and I'm sure they're getting rude awakening when they discover how much work an audiobook actually is and what their actual earn is for all that work that they did. Oh my God, I worked on this for 3 weeks and I just got $600. Yeah, because that was a shitty project posted by a shitty client. I wish that was a client that showed their full first and last name so I could fucking stalk him. I'm kidding, YouTube. Jesus, oh no. All right, let's go on here. Another kind of job that I don't do. Jobs that say that they're looking for a quote. I don't do these. I'm not a mind reader. This is Voice123. On Voice123, you live and die by the algorithm. And the algorithm, you get pushed up. You do better in the algorithm whenever you get hired, obviously, or if you get a like on one of your proposals, your auditions. That's how you get pushed up in the algorithm. Likewise, if you submit a bunch of auditions and you get hired for none of them and you don't even get liked on any of them, that pushes you down in the algorithm. And if you are getting pushed down in the algorithm, you're going to have a bad time on Voice123. You absolutely want to keep everything up, and the way that you're supposed to do that is be selective with what you submit auditions for. Only submit auditions for things that you are a good fit for. So in the specs, so here they might have accents here. Here they don't know what they want here, so that's already a mega red flag. But make sure that you match the voice, gender, and age. Make sure that you match any accent notes here. Hopefully in here they'll be oh, we're looking for a Sam Elliott sound-alike or whatever notes that they have. The ideal candidate would bring energy to the script without sounding too serious or overly enthusiastic. All of this stuff. Here, they've even got a voice style reference. That's great. All of this is great. This would help you decide, am I the right talent for this? And that would, in theory, make it more likely that the client will like your audition and perhaps even hire you, thus pushing you up. Anyway, that's how the algorithm's supposed to work. But then we bring in this other factor. Looking for a quote. I don't know how to quote this. I know how it should be quoted according to the GVAA rate guide and all of that. But those numbers are all sort of driven or informed, at least in part, by union rates. But I don't know if that's where this client's head is, especially since it seems like they are from Poland. So how the hell am I supposed to quote this? Like, I don't know what Polish rates are. I don't know I don't know how experienced they are, if they're like aware of what rates are in the US, or where these other markets. They're also looking for talent potentially from the Caribbean, South Africa, and Britain. Like, there's going to be some wildly different potential rates. And so when they say looking for a quote, you're required to be a mind reader, because say I quote this. How long is this? It's for a video game. Let's just say this is like a main character and there's tons and tons and tons of dialogue, like tens of thousands of words. So let's say I quote this at $8,000. They might go, holy shit, are you insane? We were thinking more like $400. So suddenly my quote is so far out of the realm of they're not even going to try to negotiate. Obviously, they're not going to hire me, and they're not going to like my proposal, even though my voice might be perfect for what they're looking for. My quote might be so far out of range that I'm not going to get liked. Suddenly, I'm getting hurt in the algorithm because this client, they've got a number in their head. In this fictional case that I just brought up, the number in their head is $400. Why don't they fucking put $400? But let's say that they do have a real budget. Say their budget is $3,000. And I come in going like, like looking at the script or whatever. Yeah, I'll do that for $500. They see your quote and go like, $500? Does this person not like realize what the fair market rate for a job like this is? They don't, so they must not actually be a professional voice actor. They must be a real amateur, and we don't want to work with a real amateur. So even though your voice might be perfect for this job and you quoted what you thought was a reasonable rate, and who wouldn't love to have $500, suddenly you've quoted too low. You don't know the number in their head. You've quoted too low, and you're not getting hired or liked because you quoted too low. And there's the problem. I can't read this client's mind. I don't know if I'm going to quote too high or too low. And that's not how we should be getting judged in the algorithm. We shouldn't be getting judged based on our ability to read minds. This is Voice123, not fucking Medium123 or Clairvoyant123. Get this shit out of here. This is the single stupidest feature of Voice123. The fact that clients are able to say looking for a quote is the single biggest game breaker for Voice123. Like, if they fix this tomorrow, I would consider re-upping for another year. But if this is still here when it comes time for me to make the decision on whether I want to re-up for another year for $888, by the way, if this is still here, absolutely fucking not. This is the stupidest, most short-sighted, idiotic thing I've on any of the websites. It's dumber than anything on voices.com, and it's the dumbest thing on Voice123. It is so stupid, and I would love for someone at Voice123, I know y'all occasionally watch, howdy, can you fucking explain this to me? All right. End of rant. Budget disagreement. It's just, it's so stupid. I like force them to put in a bucket, a range. You know who does do that? Voices.com. You can't just say, you do the work. Guess the number in my head. That's so fucking stupid. Voices does a lot of things stupid, but they don't do that. So Voice123, if you want to like immediately like bump your website tier from a B to an A, just do that. Make that one change instead of letting them totally cop out and go looking for a quote. Just let them have a giant budget, like $1,000 to $2,000. Even in an enormous range like that, that is way more useful information than looking for a quote. And you've already got the little like negotiable tick that you can do. Like, use that. But looking for a quote, it's so fucking stupid. And this minor thing, visually, the little thing that comes up and it blocks the entire menu bar down here for way too long. Like there's like 3 pixels you can click to get back to the projects, and I've gotten pretty good at it, but it's dumb. It shouldn't be like that. Y'all got to figure something out. Make it like pop up like above the bar, like way up here, or have it be like half as tall. Something. Y'all got to figure that out. That's annoying. All right, we got another looking for a quote. And is this also text to speech? Up to 100 minutes per week. All of this stuff. Wait. Okay, we maximum rate per minute due to the exuberant amount of weekly minutes that will be done for the Chinese client is $13 per synchronous minute. So, all right. What does this actually work out? $13 per minute. So equals 13. So that's, I mean, so if you are actually talking about, and if it's talking about 100 minutes, then that's $1,300 per week. That would be great. Like if all of this, if this is all legitimate, first of all, looking for a quote it's fine in this case because the client has clearly given you all of the information that you need to solve this math problem. $13 per synchronous minute. That means you can just say $780 per hour. Like, though I don't know that, I think you just have to put a dollar amount, which is, again, like, give us more tools to quote more accurately. Like, we should be, if we're given the option or the requirement in this case to deliver a quote, let us quote based on dollars or cents per word, per minute, like per session hour, like studio hour, that kind of stuff. Like, let us itemize things like, hey, here's the studio session fee, here's the live directed session fee, here's my fee per round of revisions. Let us like deliver like a full proposal. If we're calling them proposals, let us deliver a proposal with a breakdown, and so that the client will understand like where all these costs are coming from. Hey, let us do a line on that. Say, hey, here you talked about like a 1-year licensing period. Here's my cost for that, and then here's the cost for an additional 1-year add-on to that. Let us do all that. And you say, oh yeah, you can do that in the text, but I mean, it just seems, I don't know what y'all are doing like day to day. Like I don't, and I'm not a programmer. I'm not a developer. And so, maybe these are all things that they just can't be solved. But it seems like if you had one person who's done voiceover full time anywhere on your staff or as a consultant to talk about these kinds of complaints, that a lot of these problems would never have been problems in the first place. But it seems that voice123.com and voices.com, it's like they've never talked to a voice actor before. Like, because so many steps in all of these processes are like, maybe some developer thought like, oh, well, that's the logical way to do this. Well, it's like, not everything works on logic. Sometimes like convenience and a different kind of logic operates. Very interesting that only one person has submitted like this. If this is a real project, I mean, granted, they are looking for a very niche service. Dubbing is like, that's a thing that people get into, and it's a very specialized skill. And if you can get the work, it usually does pay pretty well. Kind of like this. But I don't know enough about dubbing rates to know if this is a good dubbing rate. Maybe for dubbing, this is a terrible rate. I don't know. But I don't have any material to show off that I can do dubbing, so I ain't gonna try. VO for Boston Company. They are looking specifically with a Boston accent. Danny Nuss. Does Morgan Freeman have a Boston accent? Does Chris Evans? Wait, Chris Evans. I don't watch superhero movies, so I know he's one of the Chris's, right? George Clooney? Like, okay, Ben Affleck is the only one of this group that I know has a Boston accent. So, whatever. Anyway, we're not going to do that one because I'm not going to try to do a Boston accent. Certainly not on stream. Okay, let's just go to this one because this seems like I might actually do this one. Fun voice for Texas public transit streaming spot. Now, Fort Worth. Okay. The Fort Worth accent's a little bit different than the Houston accent. People with a heavy Houston accent don't say Houston. They say Houston. Or Fort Worth. I don't know. I suppose it ain't that different, but let's take a look here. Okay, yeah. Tone is positive, fun, excited about free rides. Looking to work with an actor who can record in their own studio on Friday. Yes, I can. With live direction. Fine. Yada, yada. So, I have a feeling, so there's 10 people have already gotten in this. I have a feeling this client is not looking for a strong Texas accent. It just says engaging voice. Like, yeah, it is Fort Worth. Yeah, it's Texas. And so I'll make sure to mention in my response, in the text, I'll mention, hey, I'm a native Texan. But I don't want anything Texas to come out. There might be a word that sort of like serves as a marker of like, oh yeah, Texans say that word that way. But we'll find out. So we're going to read this cold. So let's do it. Okay. So let's read aloud the direction here. Quick texting keystrokes. So texting, not keyboard, but texting. 2 quick car horn taps. So this person is texting while driving, and the person behind them is honking at them. Looking for a ride that comes to you at the push of a button? Trinity Metro On Demand is ready when you are. Book an on-demand rideshare trip from your phone and relax. Trinity Metro On Demand is ready when you are. Book an on-demand rideshare trip from your phone and relax as you get around. As you get around Alliance with Trinity Metro On Demand is ready when you are. Book an on-demand rideshare trip from your phone and relax as you get around Alliance with corner-to-corner service, and even make easy connections to Trinity Metro bus routes. Download the GoPass app to book your trip and ride for free until September 15th. They say 15, but I think they want a 15th. Easy connections to Trinity Metro bus routes. Download the GoPass app to book your trip and ride for free until September 15th. OMG! Learn more at ridetrinitymetro.org/on-demand-alliance. Okay. Adding tiny little flourishes like that, the sort of the laugh with OMG, that's something that maybe the client ends up hitting it and they don't want you to do it in the final thing, but in an audition, that can be something that's like, interesting choice. Like, we'll consider that. So for a lot of this, I did not end up doing punch and roll. And, ooh, look at that mouth noise. Ooh. So we're going to have to find out. Phone and relax as you get around Alliance with And relax as you get around. So at the word get, which I think is here, let's listen to that. Phone and relax as you get around Alliance with corner-to-corner service, and even make. And then, is it here? Where is this? Corner-to-corner service, and even make. Maybe here? Corner service, and even make easy connections to Trinity Metro. Corner-to-corner service, and even make easy connections. It's just, it feels like it's a long So we're going to use this part of the breath.
Corner-to-corner service, and even make easy connections to Trinity Metro bus routes. Download the GoPass.
So here is this one. And for the sake of pacing, not for deleting the breath, but for the sake of pacing.
Connections to Trinity Metro bus routes. Download the
A little shorter.
to Trinity Metro bus routes. Download the GoPass app to book your trip and ride for free until September 15th. OMG! Learn OM.
All right, so I think it's going to be this one, and maybe again, we do that so we can shorten this. Well, actually, no, this is there's a break here for sound effects.
Until September 15th. OMG! Learn more at ridetrimetro.org.
Here, I'm going to delete this.
OMG! Learn more at ridetrinity.metro.org/on-demand-alliance.
Okay. I think that's good to go. Let's listen to these transitions again, though.
You at the push of a button? Trinity Metro On Demand is ready when you are. Book an on-demand rideshare trip from your phone and relax as you get around Alliance with corner-to-corner service and even make easy connections to Trinity Metro bus routes. Download the GoPass.
All right, that's all good to go. Cool. And we're calling this what? Trinity Metro. There we go. Accept the invite. Trinity Metro. And here's where we use our handy copy paste. So one thing Voice123 doesn't have, that voices.com has, on voices.com, when you reply to a job, in fact, we can look at that in just a second here. Report that as spam. When you reply to a job, so we'll see it here, reply to job, you've got a little drop-down menu with response templates. So you set these up. So I've got a response template to where if it's an audiobook, there's one response. If it's just the general, which is what I generally use, if it's a really, like, if they have a posting for an extreme quick turn, like, hey, we need this like this afternoon, I'll do something like this, where I've got this extra line here. If you're happy with my audition read, I can provide the raw WAV file right away. That lets the client know that, like, hey, I'm here at my computer. If you want this right now, you can have it right now. That kind of thing. Voice123, there isn't there. It's just a field. Now, they do populate this field with whatever you used last, which is useful because I usually use the equivalent of this general. That's usually basically what I have in that box. However, I've got my little Stream Deck here, and on the Stream Deck, you can have like little copy-paste text blocks. What I would recommend if you're on Voice123 is to have a text document on your desktop or somewhere and have a couple of these different paragraphs on there for your different response scenarios. So here, this is the thing that mentions that I'm from Texas. So that's what this client is getting. And then after this job, I'll go back to the general response. But there you go. That's my recommendation, is to have somewhere where you can always get to your different responses. We're going to go back here. This job just came in on voices.com, which means we need to get to it right away because Voices is where things are time sensitive. We want to get to them right away. Let's turn that off. All right, let's take a look here. Current video. Okay, let's take a look. We love it when they give us these.
Managing sponsorships can be tricky. Clear lines of all-in-one sponsorships by your artwork approvals and proof.
Super standard. We've seen a million of those.
Are you tired of managing your sponsorships through disorganized spreadsheets and endless email chains? Are you tired of managing your sponsorships through disorganized spreadsheets and endless email chains? Have you missed one too many opportunities and are seeking a better solution? Welcome to Sponsor CX, the premier sponsorship management.
We'll go ahead and do punch and roll here.
And are seeking a better solution? Welcome to Sponsor CX, the premier sponsorship management platform designed by and for sponsorship professionals. With decades...
Barely got to the end of that sentence. Let's give myself another chance here.
CX, the premier sponsorship CX, the premier sponsorship management. CX, the premier sponsorship management platform designed by and for sponsorship professionals. With decades of combined experience, we understand the intricacies for sponsorship professionals. With decades of combined experience, we understand the intricacies of sponsorship management because we've lived it. The intricacies of sponsorship management because we've lived it. Sponsor CX allows you to manage every aspect of your sponsorships in one place, streamlining your workflow and maximizing efficiency. Our intuitive workflow and maximizing efficiency. Our intuitive software and user-friendly mobile app provide complete end-to-end control over your sponsorships.
All right, let's edit this one first so we don't forget. Go. And clean up our edits here. We're going to have to listen to this.
Mere sponsorship management platform designed by...
Let's pick a different edit point, maybe here.
Sponsorship management platform designed by and for sponsorship professionals.
Yep, that sounds better. Here.
Of sponsorship management because we've lived it. Sponsors...
Yeah, it's fine. No, so there's a thing that I do, and we talk about on this stream, voice talent, know thyself. Know what you do that's good and know what you do that's bad. And one thing that I do is that I don't do it in my regular speech, but for some reason, when the record light is on, I will end certain phrases. Anytime I end a sentence with certain words, there will be like an extra bit of breath at the end of that word. Duh. It's something I only do when it's recording. And I don't know why. But if you notice that you yourself do that, or if you start listening for it, you will detect it in lots of different kinds of media. I was playing the video game Kingdom Hearts recently, which came out nearly 20 years ago at this point. And a lot of the voice talent in that game do that. Where else? I think Mass Effect. Oh, yeah, Mass Effect. I'm playing Mass Effect with Femshep, and very talented voice actor. But she ends a lot of her sentences with a bit of breath at the end. I'm exaggerating for effect, but that is a thing that you'll start to notice. So I apologize for doing that. So what I'm going to do is, because on the end of this sentence here, I'll bring it back so you can hear it.
Sponsorship management, because we've lived it.
We've lived it. Why did I do that? I don't know. So this is rarely do I do a micromanaging thing on my scripts, but I'm going to drop that down by 5.6 dB and listen again.
Sponsorship management, because we've lived it. Sponsor C.
That sounds a lot more natural to me. And we are now good to go. So let's get this out. Sponsor CX. Sponsor CX. One word. Got it? Let's see how many people got in front of me. While I was yapping, 13 people got in line ahead of us. That's what I get for yapping. But none of those people are running the world's greatest voiceover audition live stream. It is the world's greatest, because it's the only one. Seeking 2 Cuban-American actors. That ain't me. My Uncle Frank could do it. Tio Francisco, he could do it. but obviously that ain't me. Boat Ride in all caps. Rise International and Jill Ease present R&R, reggae and R&B, a premium ladies event. Okay, this is not for me. They haven't given us any information about. They're looking for male young adult, and honestly, they're probably looking for someone who. Blackjack Marin Chagaramas DJ. I'm sure that they're not looking for a white guy to do this. And they're giving phone numbers with only 7 digits. How interesting. Where is this? This can't be in the U.S. Ain't no way that they're giving out 7-digit phone numbers for something that's in the U.S. That's wild. Up here in Maine, interesting note, up here in Maine, there is one area code for the entire state. The whole state. So if you're in Maine, and you are a Mainer, like people in Maine do still give 7-digit phone numbers. But I think that's starting to change because there are enough Ferners, people like my lady and I, who moved in from out of state and kept our Texas numbers, that people are now like, oh, okay, I'll give you my 207, that's the Maine area code. So if you ever see a random call on your phone from a 207, just know that some lovely person from Maine is trying to reach you and sell you insurance or something. Okay, let's head over to ACX because we have done everything on voices in Voice123. And over on ACX, we've got, let's see here, we've seen everything from here lower. And again, just to reiterate, we talked about yesterday, but this one, you don't want to do this one. Unless you are doing, if you are a traditional voice actor, i.e. like you don't have a big audiobook, if that audiobooks aren't a focus of your business, but e-learning is a big focus of your voice acting business, this would be a great e-learning title. Absolutely. Decent pay, decent length here. You should probably be able to get a good $300 out of this. Hopefully they're going to pay you something like that. So that would be fine. But e-learning, I don't know. E-learning should pay better than that. Nah. Anyway, so we've seen this and everything older than it. So let's look at the 2 jobs that are newer and decide if they would be worth our time if we weren't so freaking busy. Sammy the Snail's Great Adventure. Look at this AI. What the hell is going on with this? Why does it have 4 eyes? Snails don't, it's like ears, or it's like they're little appendages that they use to sense things. I think it's like kind of a smell, taste type organ. Those are not, why, this is so cursed. So this is what the AI takeover looks like. This is cursed. These extra eyes here. Oh my God. Oh, ChatGPT, what have you done to my boy? So Sammy the Snail is looking a little fucked up. Join Sammy, an adventurous snail with too many eyes, on an enchanting journey. Like, So I like to say, judge a book by its cover. That's important to do. You should be judging books by their covers, especially on ACX, because that's what other people do. So, yeah, it's AI, and that might make certain kinds of professionals, creative professionals, be repulsed. And yeah, it immediately has like the sort of the look of AI generated imagery. But for a children's book, that's kind of fine. Like it's a mega mess, just a wash of color. It makes no sense that there are extra eyeballs, but you know what? It's just a children's book. It's fine. So I think that's all fine. But you also have to consider, if they're this reliant on AI generated imagery for their cover, were they also reliant on AI generated text for their story? And if you've never read a a piece of audition copy or let alone a book that was AI generated, there's a melancholy that sets in if you're reading that stuff. It's not good. So I would be curious about that. One thing to note here, estimated length, 0.1 hours. This thing's going to be super, super short. And that's fine because it's a children's book. Children's books, that's a totally different category entirely. It's not something I would ever do. Children's books just doesn't appeal to me. But if that's the way you want to go, like I know that there are people who make great livings doing children's books, keep in mind that this rate is per finished hour. And so you think, oh wait, 0.1 hours, does that mean I'm only going to get 0.1 of this dollar amount? No. Industry standard is if it's under 1 hour, no matter how low under 1 hour, if it's under 1 hour, you get the 1 hour rate. So if this thing is really 0.1 hours, i.e. 6 minutes, you should still get the full 1 finished hour rate, which for me, the rate that I'm quoting nowadays is $250. So for doing a six minutes worth of children's book reading about old Sammy the Snail and his great adventure, or her great adventure, their great adventure, I would still get my full 1 hour rate, even though it's only 6 minutes. So that's something to keep in mind. But again, I don't know if ACX automatically does that for you. So in your discussions with this rights holder, you would need to make that absolutely clear before you begin work. Make it clear, like, hey, just so we're sure, this is the rate and the minimum rate is 1 hour. Then you'll be good to go. Bonus. This hardback contains bonus coloring pages and tic-tac-toe grids to provide more fun for your child. Like, okay, that's great, but obviously that's not... I'm just curious. I want to see what the script looks like for this. We're not going to read it, but we're going to look at it. Jesus, that's a slow download. Oh, it's a big PDF. God, is this going to be like a full color just mess? And hello, can we open it, please? Oh, God, it has too many eyes again. Oh, my God. Does it mention that this is a... Look, holy AI. All right. We got the eyeballs here and no eyeballs here. We got the eyeballs here and no eyeballs here. And it looks totally different. Like, here we got like a little, like a cat-like nose heart. And also it's like almost furry. It is absolutely furry. Look at this. And then down here, there's no nose heart. The eyes are much bigger. Not furry. No eyeballs on its antenna. It's got eyebrows here. Do we have eyebrows up here? We do. My God. Look at the way the shell wraps around. Oh my God. Look at this. It's cursed. What is that? And do the eye color? Yeah. Here, purple eyes. Here, brown eyes. And wait. Why are you in a turtle shell now? What's happening? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no. Okay. Oh my God, that's so fucking cursed. Oh no. And actually has nostrils now? Oh no. What is... Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm sorry. This whole thing has to be AI. We might actually report this to ACX. It's just... What's the composition here? Look at this framing. Your fucking cheeks cut off. Oh my god, that's fucking cursed. Oh my god. Look at oh no oh. Ugh. Look at look at what? Oh no. About the authors. You're not an author. You wrote some fucking prompts and fucking Midjourney or whoever. God, I bet all of these are just AI. Like it's audiobooks, voiceover in general, but particularly audiobooks, it's a small world. It's a small community. Everybody knows everybody, especially on the narrator side. On the author and everything, like rights holder side, it's a little bit more, obviously. Everybody's got a book. But this, I, all that's to say, it's particularly bad form to talk shit in this space, especially about the work of a narrator or something like that. You just don't do it. You can have private conversations with other people about like, hey, I'm looking to do some hiring, or I'm looking to refer this person. Am I making a good decision here? And that's all fine. But in a public space, such as the Facebook groups and such as perhaps a live stream, it's very, very bad form to talk shit. This, however, I'm sorry. This is bullshit. Like, I didn't read the text very closely. Let's just read one page of this text and just see if we get any spidey senses tingling about maybe this is AI. We're not going to pick the first page. We're going to go down a little bit here and pick a random middle page because I bet that's where they lost steam here. Further along, she met a gecko, quick and sly, climbing up a wall, almost touching the sky. Okay, we're rhyming. Hello, gecko, Sammy said, looking up. You're so fast, like a little pup. Hey there, Sammy, Gecko replied with glee. But speed isn't all, as you can see. Your steady pace helps you see it all, while I might miss the big and small. Sammy nodded, feeling content, happy with the message Gecko sent. She appreciated the world she saw. At her slow pace, she could see it all. Slant rhyme there. Saw and all don't really rhyme. Thank you, Gecko, for your talk. Now I can continue my slow walk. I'm not sure if this is AI or not. Thank you, Sammy the Spider spoke slowly. Each strand is placed with care, you know. Not a rhyme at all. Your pace lets you think and plan. Don't rush life. Just be who you are, my friend. Again, plan and friend. That's not a rhyme. Sammy felt a warmth inside. Her pace was a gift, she realized with pride. Thank Spider. We got a major error here. Thank you, or thanks, Spider, for your wise words. I'm feeling more confident, and my heart stirred. There's a tense mismatch here. Feeling, that's a gerund, that is present progressive. And then here we have my heart stirred. That is, well, if it's a participle, then that might be kind of okay. I'm feeling my heart stirred. That actually, maybe, but it's like an extremely strange construction. But, like, obviously this imagery is just like, come on. See, this is the real, like, one of the real problems with AI imagery, and what makes it so easy to spot is when you've got multiple images. Because then you can start to compare and go like, hold on, there is no consistency in the character or the world design. Like, just looking at the eye stalks is completely cursed from image to image. Like, the character it changes species. This is the character. It's now a fucking turtle, a fuzzy turtle. Oh my god. Like, and I know this is like for parents who are just trying to shut their kid up, so they put this on the tablet and the kid swipes through and I guess that's fine, but I don't know, man. I don't know. And what is this thing? What the hell is this? Wait, is this supposed to be, which one is this? Okay, there's the dragonfly, which has too many wings. And this is supposed to be a June bug? Tell me you've never seen a June bug without telling me you've never seen a June bug. And they're not even looking at each other. These guys are looking up. And this one's got heterochromia, 2 different colored eyes. Oh my god. Oh no. Like, some of this is, fine. It's just so strange and odd. God, that's so cursed. All right. All right, that's enough. We are going to report this to ACX because AI generated content. Just maybe they did write those words. I'm not so sure though. Is that a okay, we gotta are you fucking kidding me? Oh, okay. I thought the budget for this job was $10. I was like, what? But no, it's one of these American Red Cross things. Why am I only oh, telephone. God, I feel like I've read this before. Is Twisters even in July? I guess it is timely. So these come up a lot. But man, I just I don't tend to get these. Would be a great client to have. You know what? Whatever. We're on the live stream. We're supposed to be doing auditions instead of laughing at bad AI. So we'll go ahead and do this.
We've teamed up with Universal Pictures for the theatrical release of Twisters to help weather the storm of summer blood shortages. Join us, and when you come to give blood in July, you'll receive a $10 e-gift card and a Fandango movie ticket by email. Plus, hurry in by July 14 for a Twisters and Red Cross umbrella while supplies last. For a Twisters and Red Cross umbrella while supplies last.
Okay, let's do this quick edit here. The edit point here needs to be... I'm going to see if I can do this purely by sight. I'm thinking here. Let's listen.
For a Twisters and Red Cross umbrella while supplies last.
I'm so fucking good. Bro, that's good. All right, here we go. Let's deliver this. Make you active. Bounce you out. So ARC. We're going to call this by the job number 730-354. 372. I think it's always funny that the Red Cross spots always have like a very specific dollar amount for the job budget. That's fun. Okay, there we go. We didn't see how many. Let's see here. Answered. I want to see how many people. Hello. Was that it? Okay. How many people got in front of me? 5 response. So we were number 5, which is good. Because if we're only a 90% voice match, like, you got to get in early and hope that the client is like actually sticking around and going to listen to the ones that roll in right away. Because once there are 50 responses in, all of the 100% show up before any of the 90%. So they're going to listen to all the 100% and probably hire out of that pool. And that's if they go away for a day, come back to the 50, they're never going to get to any of the 90% matches. But if they're sitting right there, maybe they will. That's why we did that one. All right, let's duplicate. Let's give ourselves some more tracks to work with. There we go. And we're ready to go once again. Okay, so we made fun of... I'm going to leave this tab open because I'm going to send some screenshots to people. This is too much. Okay, let's take a look at this book. 3.9 hours. Male or female. That all makes sense. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. All of this looks fine. It's a recent release. Yeah, all of this looks fine. You know, I don't know how interesting this will be to read. Sure, it's important and all that good stuff, but let's look at the audition. Let's take a look here. Okay, they've got corrections shown. View, no comments. View. I don't remember how to not show that stuff on here. Obviously, if I were in Word, I would know how to do it, but I'm not going to pay for Microsoft Word, thank you. Anyway, so they need to like commit changes to where this doesn't come through. Like, this is not a great look, and it's like showing people's full names and stuff. This is not a great look to send along, but that's fine. Let's take a look here. One sunny May morning in 2022, my mom and I sat timidly in a caregiver meeting alongside men and women who, like us, were struggling to navigate their loved one's dementia diagnosis. That is quite a sentence. We'll turn off the comments here. So the issues that you're going to have here, A, is getting through this formatting stuff. If you can't figure out how to commit or accept all suggestions or something like that, there's a way that Microsoft Word calls it, and I never have to deal with this in OpenOffice, so I've never figured it out. But at any rate, hopefully you can get through the formatting, but then you have to figure out as a narrator how you're going to deal with things like reading into lists like this. So, according to the Mayo Clinic, here are 5 things you may notice in your loved one during this early stage of the disease. Number 1, your loved one has a difficult time remembering newly learned information. Number 2, your loved one struggles with problem solving and multi-step tasks and shows lapses in judgment. Number 3, your loved one's so you decide for yourself how you want to read this numbered list. Here, I like saying number 1, number 2. You could just say 1. Your loved one has a difficult time remembering newly learned information. 2, your loved one struggles. That's fine. Don't overthink it. Do what feels natural to you and keep it consistent. Pick one way and stick with it. So later when you get down to this list, do it the same way. And do it the same way throughout. And what I like when I'm doing any kind of books, especially if it's like a generally new thing, like a book with like a lot of lists and stuff, and maybe I don't do a lot of books with lists, right here, Post-it notes. Post-it notes, I can't recommend enough. Like, it's great to have like a Google document with lots of information in it about just your references for character notes, for pronunciations, things like that. That is fantastic. Also, I highly recommend for even quicker reference, have a physical Post-it note with something like this. Probably can't read this. It's got the name of a character, and it's got who the reference is that I have in my head when I'm narrating this character. Here, the character's name is Clytus, and the character reference is Matt Berry. And if you know who Matthew Berry is, he's a whole lot of fun. If you've ever watched the show What We Do in the Shadows, Matthew Berry is Laszlo on that show. He's the one that says, "You are the most devious bastard in New York City." Absolutely outrageous voice. The guy never turns it off. He just talks like this all the time. And it's lovely and wonderful, and he's a great character actor. And that's what this character Clytus is. He's a pompous, he's a pompous ass, and so that's a great reference for me to have. And obviously, I'm not doing a straight-up Matthew Berry impersonation or anything. This is an audiobook. You don't do characters at 100% in an audiobook. At least I don't, and my authors don't want me to do that. So what I'm doing is like, that's just what's in my head as I do a more subdued version of a Matthew Berry. Let's take a look here to make sure. Okay, so we did that one. And then I think we got a couple of Voice123 things. We need to make sure that we're not about to dox someone. So let's look at these two. No and no. Okay, so we'll come back. All right, corporate video web series, mail. Okay. The control room system detects autonomously up to 70 signals, all the DTCs and anomalies on all the connected engines, and sends them directly. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Thanks to the alerts, the dealer was able to contact the customer, who until that moment was unaware of any issues. Okay. Let's see here. 3-minute video from a company that does engine service. It will develop into several episodes. This is the first one in which marine engines are involved. There will be interviews with a real female skipper and a control room technician who will help the skipper fix her breakdown. The style of voice is that of an interview in which, after the fact, in a kind of docu-fiction, the skipper and the tech... Okay. So, this is another thing where like, oh, this is natural text, natural copy. And they proceed to give you the least natural copy ever. That's okay, though. I think we might actually do this one. How many? 13 out of 15. Already really close. And it just came to me, which means it just came to a lot of people in the same bucket as me. But you know what? Maybe we'll give it a shot.
The control room system detects autonomously up to 70 signals, all the DTCs and anomalies on all the connected engines, and sends them directly to each dealer. The control room system detects autonomously up to 70 signals, all the DTCs and anomalies on all the connected
What a sentence. Holy.
The control room system detects autonomously up to 70 signals, all the DTCs and anomalies on all the connected engines, and sends them directly to each dealer. Thanks to the alerts, the dealer was able to and sends them directly to each dealer. Thanks to the alerts, the dealer was able to contact the customer, who until that moment was unaware of any issues.
All right. Grab that. Fix this. Man, the emails are coming in. Highly recommend, if you are doing this, get yourself some kind of email checker plugin. That's this out. What are we calling this? Fucking. We don't even have a job number. Oh, wait. Client. Okay. 3088508. Sure. Apply. Here it is. There. And then here we're going to paste in our generic. There we go. Submit. And then let's see what we've got here. Another new project. So let's make sure, again, we're not doxing anybody here. Okay. This one we're going to do, now I've talked in the past, this is not a political stream. We're not going to talk politics. However, we will occasionally do some voiceover work that is in the political genre. We're not going to talk about the merits of one side or the other or whatever, but doing political voiceover, it is important that you choose one side or the other. If you don't care, well, then maybe politicals aren't right for you, because nowadays you have to choose a side, and people in that creative space want to work with other people who do care. People in that space care a lot. And so if you as voice talent don't care, they're not going to be super jazzed to work with you. They want people who are enthusiastic, energetic about the subject matter. And this is something that does jive with me. I'm not going to talk about the merits of this. We're just going to look at the copy, analyze it, make some decisions creatively, and if you don't agree with what's being talked about, then maybe just try to be a professional and appreciate it for its artistic content on its own merit, rather than getting butthurt about the political content contained therein. So let's go ahead and do this. Now, this is it's not a full-on attack ad, but it is sort of that ominous negative ad. This is a warning. This is a cautionary story here. So we'll read it with that in mind.
If Donald Trump wins in November, he could nominate 2 more Supreme Court justices, meaning 5 out of the 9 justices will be Trump appointed, a new MAGA majority. We already saw what Trump's justices have done. This new MAGA majority could ban access to contraception and outlaw gay marriage. Trump won't just have the power to change America for 4 years.
Oh, please, thank you. Here we go.
Gay marriage. Trump won't just have the power to change America for 4 years. He will have the power to change America forever. Republican accountability... Okay. Forever. Republican Accountability PAC is responsible... Republican Accountability PAC... Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content... Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. One more time. Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Okay. So we know we did punch and roll for the first portion of this, and then for the last portion, we are going to keep only the last take. And here, we'll give it a big space like that, maybe like that. Okay. Chances are the final product needs to be a 30, and we're over 30. Hold on. Sure, we'll just call it what they called it. MAGA Supreme Court. So the finished product probably needs to be a 30, though it doesn't need to be. If this is just going to be posted on social media, there's no reason to tie yourself to a 15 or a 30 or a 60. That's just for radio and television. It doesn't have to be that way anymore. But we're going to... So again, we're a little bit over 30. We came in at 33 seconds. Am I going to put an extra note here? Maybe I need a political thing. No, we're gonna hope to lead with military veteran and hope that they connect all the dots. So we're gonna submit that just as it is. There we go. Cool. So yes, like I was saying, we were over 30 seconds here. I didn't realize here that we weren't back on the full screen. Sorry for everybody who didn't get to see that edit process. We are just over 30 seconds here. We're at 33 seconds for that. That is okay for an audition. If they hear you and they like you, they're going to be able to go like, yeah, they can trim off 4 seconds off of that, and you're going to be fine. 30 ad for smart dumbbells. This in perpetuity with paid media, yes. If it's online, fine. But if they're going to be doing any kind of radio or television, this in perpetuity is an absolute no-go. No. This one, I'm going to pass on it because, again, I'm not really your sports guy. I'm not your active brand voice. So we're going to pass on that. There's a very specific read, and I don't have enough experience with it to risk my position in the Voice123 algorithm on it. So we're gonna pass on that, even though that seems like a fine job there. Let's double check this. We're clear on voices. We're clear on Voice123. We were looking at this one on ACX, and again, did we actually look at the? We did. We looked at the text. The text seems fine. This seems like a perfectly fine job for someone out there to get. It's not too long, but it is not too short. Anything under 3 hours, you don't want to do because people looking at your portfolio are going to go, that's not a real title. But in the 4-hour range, you're fine. People are going to be fine with you counting that, basically. Cover looks good. This seems like a fine title, so good luck to whoever gets this. I'm not going to audition for it because I ain't got the time for something like this. And as a matter of fact, I got to get work on my audiobook. We've got to do. Let me bring up the old spreadsheet here. I have read through chapter 18. I need to get through chapter 27 today. That's a lot of chapters. That's a lot of pages that I got to get done today. And if I can get more done, then fantastic. But that is the absolute bare minimum that I must do, or I will die. I've got many, many, many clients who are waiting on me to hurry up and finish the books I have ahead of them in my queue. So we're going to try to make people happy by getting through some of the books that I've got in my queue. The book I'm currently working on right now is not a live stream title, so we're going to say goodbye for now. I will try to get you a live stream title soon so that we can do some more live audiobook narrating on the channel here. I've got ready to go. I've got a video that shows me doing a full finished hour, meaning including doing the narration, the edits, the proofing, recording the pickups, and actually exporting and sort of starting the delivery process to ACX. All of that, one full finished hour in one video. I've decided to hold on to that video until that book releases so that I can have a little shout out to like, hey, if you liked this random hour in the middle of the book, hey, you can listen to the whole thing, buy it, here's the link. So I'm waiting until that one actually hits release, which should happen sometime this week or next. It's working its way through the Sarlacc pit that is the ACX QA process. So I hope folks out there enjoyed this in some small way, maybe got some benefit out of there. Hit me with a comment on YouTube. I do respond to comments that do roll in. Like, subscribe, do all of that garbage. If you want to pay me dollars or some other currency to talk for you, head over to veteranaudio.com. All of my contact information is there. You can check out demos. You can see all that kind of good stuff there. If you want to give me money in exchange for me saying words for you, you can get in contact with me there. Veteranaudio.com is the website. Until next time, we will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, and we will do this all over again. We'll do some auditions and talk some shit about AI. Come on in. It's a great time. All right. Love y'all. Good luck with your auditions. I hope you're doing well. Cheers.